Sometimes I think I just focus too much on the bad side of things, the negative side of things. Things are going terrible, things suck. And I don't know, I guess sometimes that just gets old, doesn't it? So if you will permit me for just a few moments today, I'm not going to take 30 minutes like I did yesterday. I had a really good day yesterday. I mean, a really good day. And I just wanted to tell you about it because it was really good. And it started with this, which is something I don't talk about very much. I really don't. I probably should talk about it more than I do, but I don't. Listenership to Plausibly Live, the Daily Dave, has really gone up, and this past week has been a record week for us. Certainly since we went to the Daily Dave, the Daily Show. And I just wanted to say thanks. Sometimes I wonder why people listen. I got a nice text from Mojab the other day saying he enjoys the show, and I do appreciate that very much. Sometimes I wonder, you get to the point where, well, okay, why am I doing this? But then you realize there are people who do listen, and whatever their reasonings for listening are is important to them, and so that makes it important to continue to do a good job. And over the past weeks, since we started in July, the Daily Show, it seems like things have really taken off, and this past week, like I said, was a record week. So I just wanted to say I'm pretty excited about that. And so, thank you. And if you would, please like, download, share, and review. That would be very helpful. I joined something called Chartable, which is supposed to tell you how your show is doing compared to other things, and it's completely incomprehensible to me. I don't know what it's doing or why it's doing, and I had a conversation with another podcaster last week about the fact that I don't care about all that stuff. I really don't. It isn't about that, but it is nice to see that people enjoy the show and download it and are listening. So thank you. I appreciate that. I had a endocrinologist appointment yesterday, which was something I was not looking forward to. As I told you back in August, my numbers were really bad, and we talked about this on the Sunday show, Do Not Resuscitate. And I didn't want to go because I felt like it was just going to be, bad around Dave because his numbers are so bad, even though it turned out that some of the numbers were flawed. But even the good numbers are not great. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not horrifyingly bad. So not like I thought they were. And if you missed that, check out DNR from last Sunday. And I got there. The only reason I didn't cancel, was because it was cheaper to go than not go. And I'm cheapskate, as you know. And we got there, and this kid walked in. Turns out he's 34. He's a kid, but I like my doctors younger. This is one of those things I've always preferred. I always prefer younger doctors because I feel like they embrace technology and science more than older doctors do. It's not that older doctors are bad, but I'm a science and technology guy, so I prefer that they be up to and touching on that. And so this guy clearly was. One of the things I've been frustrated with about my diabetes is that I don't understand it. They put me on all these pills that I'm on, and I'm on like 7 drugs. Not all of them are for diabetes, but why? What is this doing? And nobody could explain it to me. Not even my primary care doctor, who I like, but when I get to see him for like 5 minutes. He never really has time for this stuff because he's trying to do the insurance thing, get through 15 patients in the morning and 12 patients in the afternoon or whatever. And so he doesn't really have time for you. I can look it up online, but it's in scientificese, and I don't, contextually I get it, but it's hard to follow. This guy spent about an hour with me yesterday, an hour and a half almost. And it was fascinating. he did this. He drew me this. And for those of you watching the video, you will see what looks to be a bunch of squiggly lines on a page, but it actually, to me, makes a lot of sense. He drew this out showing me my liver, my pancreas, my stomach, my intestines, and we went through all of the drugs that I'm taking and what they do and how they affect things and what enzymes they both suppress and increase. He explained to me why the insulin that I'm on, and I'm on the long-lasting insulin, is good but not great. And part of the problem has to do with enzymes and all this other, and it was fascinating to me. You got to understand that this is the kind of thing that when I look at it, it's like eye-opening. I felt like for the first time in the 6 years that I've been dealing with this, I actually understood what was going on completely, fully, and please don't ask me to explain this drawing to you because, number one, I can't really see it, but number two, I kind of, it was pretty complex, and I can look at it and tell you what it is, but I don't know exactly what it is. And then he asked me what I wanted to do, which was unusual. He said, okay, we can continue what we're doing. We can change this part of this regimen. We can do this. We can do that. But what do you want to do? And what I was able to say was, I want to get to a point where I don't have to take insulin anymore. And he's like, we can do that. Doesn't mean that you can't, that you don't have to do anything for it, but we can do that. And so he explained to me how we were going to do that. And frankly, I went home and I told Cammie, it's the first time in 6 years that I actually feel like I know what I'm doing when it comes to this. And I went out and spent a couple $100 yesterday that I probably shouldn't have spent, but I did. I thought to myself, I could rejoin the gym at X number of dollars per month, or I could just buy the stuff, put it in my garage, and it's a one-time payment. And yeah, it's a little higher up front, but it's there, and then I have it. So that's what I did yesterday, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I am on a new drug regimen that doesn't necessarily do away with the other drugs that I was taking, but at least I understand now what they're doing, and so I can feel good about that. So it was a really good feeling to walk out of that. One of the things Cammie and I have been doing lately is we've been eating, at home a lot. Probably since July. When the pandemic really, when it became clear that 15 days to flatten the curve was going to turn into a year, we started eating at home a lot. We started cooking a lot. And we felt like the other day, like we had earned an opportunity to go get something that we really like. And so we decided to eat out. And I went to pick up the food. This is completely unrelated to the diabetes, so it's topic number 2 of Have a Nice Day. When I got there, I was talking to the gal at the counter, and she was a little frazzled, but she was very pleasant and very happy. And we were talking about our kids being in remote schools. And I was kind of saying to her how stressed I was about it and how problematic it was for me. And she looked at me and she said, yeah, if it wasn't for my manager allowing me to bring my kids, I don't know that I could do it. I said, what do you mean? And she said, my manager allows me to bring my kids to the place where she works. And I'm not going to tell you the name of the restaurant, but you would know it if you heard it. And do their homeschooling over in the corner. Now, if you're watching the video, if you look over in that far corner over there, you'll see that one of the tables is set up with a laptop computer and school stuff. And her girls, who are about the same as Ben, come to work with her every day, and they do their homework, they do their schooling over there in the corner of that restaurant, and they get things done. And I just thought it was really cool that her manager allows her to do that so that she can still work, so that the business can still run, and the kids can still get their education and schooling. And I don't know, it just made me feel really good. It made me feel like, people actually do care about this stuff, and we're trying to get through it, and we're trying to make it all work. And while things may not be perfect right now, at least we can, have a nice day. So that's my wish for you today. Have a nice day.